Hey guys, Jamie here. Hey, I want to put a little quick disclaimer out there. We had some audio issues with this week's episode, so hopefully you still enjoy. Also, make sure to check out the Life of Gaming on Facebook, on Twitter, at Life of Gaming Pod, and don't forget to check out our brand new website, lifeofgaming.net, a network where you can find all the content from all of us at Life of Gaming, all the reviews, videos, everything we got, so make sure to check it out. And with that, on with the show. Hello and welcome to the show. This is episode 26 of the Life of Gaming podcast. My name is Jamie, and I'll be your captain on this cruise of video game awesomeness. And you all know my co-host, the Earl to my toe jam, Mr. Josh Brandt.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm fantastic. I got Gronkowski on 2 of my fantasy football leagues, and I am starting like a rocket.
Wonderful.
3 touchdowns, boom.
But
I think I'm going to make the opening segment Fantasy Football Minute.
There you
We're
go.
just going to talk about our fantasy football teams.
I didn't have anybody play last night, so nothing for me. Although we all know about the Patriots and the whole radio issues.
Oh,
You
yeah.
heard about
yeah,
that?
more Cheatriot stuff going around. But
Right.
you got to love it.
Right.
Got to love it.
Well, hey, Brandt, you like pumpkin stuff. We talked about this before, right?
I'm a pumpkinaholic.
Do you like Twinkies?
say? Oh, yeah.
When we were at the store today, I bought limited time pumpkin pie filled Twinkies.
Are you serious?
And they taste as good as they sound, dude. They are awesome.
Man, just give me anything pumpkin tasting, I'm set.
Right.
I could live off that stuff. They need to make pumpkin cereal, though.
Right.
That's what I've been waiting for.
Oh my gosh. Well, Brandt, as you know, my voice, as we talked before, keeps getting worse and worse and worse. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is I'm in sales, so I'm talking all day long. And then on Wednesday nights and Sundays, I'm singing at church. So that does it. And now for the past 6 months, we've been doing a podcast for 2 hours or plus all Friday night, and my voice has had it. So pretty much I've got a doctor's appointment with my ear, nose, and throat specialist. But fun fact for those of you who don't know, I'm actually deaf in my right ear, so I have an ear specialist. But I'm going to that guy to find out what's wrong with my voice now, so that'll be wonderful. But
So that's why you can't hear anything we say, right?
Right. But that means there may be a few weeks where I'm gone, and you'll have to, take over for a few episodes. We'll see how that goes.
Oh man, that's gonna be interesting. You're gonna have all these audio glitches and all that awesome stuff.
Right.
But hey, I'll keep the fort going. So.
Good. Well, as you guys know in the Life Gaming podcast, sometimes we'll bring on a guest. So, Brant, why don't you go ahead and introduce who you brought with you tonight?
Well, I'm happy to announce that Courtney Osborne from the Geeks by Night podcast can join us. How are you doing, sir?
Welcome.
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, guys.
Cool.
No, thank you for coming on. Yeah, it's great. You're up to some awesome stuff. I mean, what's going on in your life right now? Family, job, stuff like that.
Well, a lot of big things actually recently. I just recently graduated from college, so
Cool.
Got my bachelor's
Awesome.
degree in history this May, and had to find a big boy job for the first time in my life. Like I've had jobs, but nothing like this. And so I was stressing out all summer long.
Sure.
And just started last month at a Microtech Computers, which is like a local supercomputer server place in Lawrence, Kansas. And so I've been getting some like multi-million-dollar servers ready to go for like government projects and stuff.
Whoa,
It's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's intense, man. Like I one day was carrying a few servers into the room to get them ready to be put together and stuff. And after I was done, one of my coworkers was like, "So just so you know, that one server you were just carrying was $18,000."
Wow.
I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, no pressure, right?
Yeah. Thanks for telling me after. I'm
Right,
glad I
right.
didn't drop it.
Well, that's
Well, that's
why they
great,
didn't tell
man.
you.
Yeah, exactly. I would have been stressing over that. But yeah, so a lot of good things, a lot of big things are happening.
Cool. And what are you doing in the video game space? What's your forte there?
As in website podcasting, or
Yeah.
is that what you're getting into? Okay,
Right.
Well, I mean, if I don't know if anybody listening to this knows me from anywhere, but 2 years ago I started a website called Middle of Nowhere Gaming. It's a little bitty website and little podcast, and did that for about a year and a half, and it blew up. It got really big. We have a lot of listeners over there, and was running a big team. And right around the time graduation came about, I was just kind of burnt out, having to handle all those people, handle all that stuff every day, and needed some time away. And so I ended up leaving my website, handed it over. So it's still in good hands. It's still going. And took about 2 months off. And just recently, Mia and one of my best friends, Lou, he was from Middle of Nowhere Gaming also, we started up Geeks by Night. Doesn't currently have a website. It will soon. I've been working on it on my free time. But we have 2 podcasts over there, the Geeks by Night Gamescast and the Geeks by Night subbed and dubbed anime book club. Really long name, very anime-esque. But yeah, so we've been running those podcasts for the past 4 or 5 weeks, and going to be getting into more Let's Plays. We've been live streaming every weeknight for the past month.
Oh, wow.
A lot of good stuff.
Cool. Sounds like you're staying busy.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. Very busy.
Cool.
Yeah, and I haven't even been into that anime that much, but with your podcast, it's really helped me get to know some of these more lesser known anime shows. And I mean, with watching Attack on Titans and what's the other one? Sword Art Online. I mean, there's some good stuff out there.
Yeah, 2 of the most popular ever right there. Like, and those are 2 recent ones too. So
Right.
Those aren't even some of the old ones that are good. Like, if I'm going to give you a recommendation of something to watch after this, I would watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. You can't go wrong there. Like, that's hands down the best I've ever seen. So
yeah, and there's also a few good movies.
Oh, yeah.
From the past that I need to check out from Studio Ghibli and things like that.
Yeah, I was going to say Miyazaki films.
Really I've even seen a few of those. So
Spirited Away. You've seen Spirited Away?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
So
I need to see that.
So good.
Well, let's hop into the show here, and we'll sort of talk about what we've been playing. So, what have you been up to, man? Courtney, what have you been playing lately? You said you've been doing those Let's Plays and things like that. What are you spending your gaming time on?
For the past 2 weeks, Metal Gear Solid 5 and nothing else.
That's an easy answer.
I am so obsessed with that game. Oh, man. It is really good. Really good. And what's funny about it is I've never played a Metal Gear Solid game in my life. I know about it. I've heard about it. I've watched videos for the stories, and like my friends have all played them all. But I haven't played a single one until this, and I am just completely obsessed.
Cool.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
Brand's still trying to talk me into playing it. Yeah.
Yep, James, you don't need any experience. You're hearing it from Courtney. You're hearing it from me. Just dive in.
Right.
Yeah, it's totally worth it. It is so good.
Cool. Well, Brant, what have you been up to, man?
The same Metal Gear Solid 5. I mean, that's the game right now that everybody's going to be playing. I'll be playing it until Fallout 4 hits, and I probably won't even be near done with it. Judging by how it's over 100 hours long or whatever.
It's
but
huge.
Oh, yeah.
It's just fun. Like I said on the last episode, and we're going into backlogs this episode, but I mean, I started with Bloodborne, then I went to The Witcher. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I went to now this, and I can't finish the games I had before, and it's just building up. It's like,
right.
But
which is a problem.
Yeah, it is a problem. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5 is definitely game of the year so far, I would say.
Cool. I mean, as for me, I haven't had too much game time. I've been playing through that Mega Man Legacy Collection still. Getting that review ready, recording footage for that. And then I just picked up Castle Crashers yesterday. That hit. So I've been playing a little bit of that, playing through that again. So that's been, that's a fun game. Castle Crashers is always good.
Man, I wish that would come out for PS4 again.
See, I've never played Castle Crashers, but I've heard really good things about it. Can you sell me on it?
Well, I mean, if you like side-scrolling beat-em-ups, it's for you.
Okay.
The old school Ninja Turtles and Simpsons games and all that stuff. Or like Zombie Vikings just came out recently. It's one of those. It's just fun when you play with friends. You just sort of chill out and just beat through a bunch of enemies. And you all have different powers. Some people have lightning, some people have fire, some people have ice. I mean, it's pretty cool though. It's a good game.
Yeah, it's definitely brings
cool.
you back to the retro style of gaming. With games like X-Men and The Simpsons Arcade, I mean, It takes it apart from those,
Cool. Yeah, I'm looking at a video now. It does look pretty fun.
Yeah. And James, you might appreciate this.
Okay.
Eli and I are playing through Super Mario Brothers 3 for the NES. Yep, we're taking land by land. So that's another thing we've been playing, just to get him into the history of gaming a little bit more, because I haven't been spending enough time with him with that. And yeah, it's been pretty awesome because I've never really played. I've always used the 2 flutes to get to the end just to try to and beat that. But now I'm playing through each stage, and those games are so fantastic.
Cool. I mean, Super Mario Maker came out today, but I haven't picked it up yet.
Oh, I'm surprised. I thought that was a day one purchase for you.
I mean, I've got other stuff. I actually picked up some Amiibo today, but that's another story for another day.
Are you getting into the craze now?
Well, no, but I mean, there's just certain ones I wanted to get. And Olimar from Pikmin came out today, so I had to make sure to pick that up.
Oh, yeah? Can you get the, what's the vintage Mario?
I tried, but it was all sold out. That came out today, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was just with the bundle, but I guess not.
No, it's separate. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Well, guys, with that, we're going to hop into our news section in what we call Captain's Log. Okay, I guess today we'll start off with the PlayStation news. So we'll sort of mix things up here. Brant, would you rather talk about Until Dawn or Kingdom Hearts?
Well, I'm very interested about Until Dawn, so I'll choose that.
Okay. Well, Until
Probably
Dawn...
to the dismay of many of our listeners.
Well, Until Dawn it's actually extremely popular. And they said in August, it was in the top 10 trending games on YouTube. It was number 1 for the month of August. They said a lot of reason behind that. People are trying to find the different endings, the different outcomes, and they've been watching it. They said some people actually recorded their whole playthrough, and people have been sort of watching it kind of like just one long movie. So, I mean, it's actually turned out pretty well for Sony. But originally it was supposed to be a move game, so they probably feel pretty good about not doing that.
It's not.
Right. Well, Brant, what do you think about the popularity of this? Have you even played it yet?
Yeah, the reviews have come out, and it's really gotten me wanting to play this now. Like, first price drop, I think I'm going to get it. This game wasn't even on my radar, James. I know you were interested in playing it, but you can't.
Right.
Not yet, anyway.
Just keep bringing that up, sure.
Yeah, I'll rub it in. But, yeah, it's totally on my radar now. And just by judging by that it's number 1 on YouTube views and all that, I mean, people want to see what this game's about, and maybe not even, it seems like more of an interactive drama that maybe I could just go on there and watch without purchasing, but I'd like to relive the experiences on my own.
Yeah, I think the part of the popularity of that is just like you said, playing it. So
yeah,
I've played it and I've beaten it,
and okay.
I would recommend playing it. I would recommend playing it over watching it any day.
Sure.
It is, I don't know if you guys have played Beyond Two Souls or Heavy Rain.
Love it.
It's way better.
James, did you hear that?
Like,
I did.
those games are very good. I love those games. But this game, the way it handles decision making and consequences like so much better, so much deeper. It has a huge consequence system based off of just little decisions. You have to make so many of them, and some of them have like horrible outcomes, and some of them are very ambiguous, and it's just it's so good. And it's I guess it cracked the MPD top 10. It got number 7. And for a game that wasn't highly anticipated by a whole lot of people and only had like a week and a half to sell in the month of August, that's pretty damn good.
That's impressive.
Sure is. Yeah, I'm glad that it's doing very well.
So, Courtney, I didn't ask, what systems do you have?
Every one of them.
Okay, cool. Well, I guess for,
You.
right. He has to show off on the podcast, right?
I spend way too much money. And see, there's a problem with this, though, is when you have every console and every console has really good games coming out, that means you have to buy all these awesome games, and then you have no time to play them all.
Right.
Which kind of plays into the backlog.
I pity
Right.
you.
I know, it's a problem. It's a first world problem.
Right. Well, I guess since you have an Xbox One, let me ask you, would you rather talk about indie games or Xbox Live preview program?
Let's go with the preview program.
Okay. Now, are you a member of the preview program that's out right now on Xbox One?
I am a member. Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, what they're going to do, they're going to roll out a preview program for the preview program members. What they're going to do, because they're rolling out Windows 10 on Xbox One, and what they're going to do, they're going to invite certain preview members to get into this preview program. And so not all preview members are going to get into this. This is going to be a completely separate invite.
Yeah.
And once you accept it, then weekly, they're going to be sending out new updates to this new interface. And they said the people that they're going to target with this, it's going to be more of the people who've given them the most additional feedback over time. So people who really kind of, let Xbox know how they feel about the current preview, because some people just got in the preview program to get backwards compatibility or some other reason, so they're not really using the preview program for what it was made for. So this way they're kind of trying to weed that out. Now, would you be interested in doing this? I mean, trying out the new system for anybody else?
Probably not. I mean, I'm a part of the preview program, but I haven't given them a whole lot of feedback.
Sure.
And I'm one of those people who is always afraid to download the updates right away because of breaking consoles and things like that. So, like, I'm always skeptical about that kind of stuff. But and I don't play my Xbox One enough to really tell the difference. I main with my PlayStation 4. So
okay. Well,
but it is a cool program.
Now, being more of a PlayStation gamer, what do you think of the current Xbox interface?
The current UI?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate it.
Okay.
I absolutely hate it. It is horrible. I can't find anything on it.
Right.
I'm really excited for them to change that.
Cool. Like for me, maybe just because it's what I've been gaming on, I feel like exactly the opposite. Because on my Xbox, I know where everything's at.
Xbox fanboy.
Right. No, well, I was all PlayStation last generation, sir.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you look at the changes between like last generation, the 360 interface to the PS3 interface, I have a feeling it's going to be roughly the same this generation. Where we're going to see much more interface changes on Xbox than PlayStation.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, they seem to be the one that changes more often.
Right. So we'll see.
I want Xbox to go back to the Blade system. I'm still a fan of that on the 360.
Right.
That was a really good one.
Yeah. Man,
why did they change that in the first place? Are they trying to go with more Windows 10 look or something?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty much Windows 10 running on your Xbox One. Well, kind of.
Okay.
Many more features.
Right now, it's set up mainly for the Kinect, right? That's how they designed what it currently is.
Kind of, but I mean they since people don't have Kinect anymore, they kind of map the buttons like the shortcuts on your controller now, so you can get around pretty fast.
Yeah,
but
still not ideal.
Right.
I'm sorry, it's just not for me. It's not.
Well, to hop into Nintendo, Courtney, would you rather talk about Amiibo or Super Mario Maker?
Oh, Super Mario Maker. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay.
No amiibos.
Right. Well, as you guys know, Super Mario Maker came out today. I haven't picked. Did you pick it up, Courtney, by any chance?
It's coming in from GameFly right now, so I don't have it yet. But will hopefully tomorrow.
Okay. Cool. Now, are you doing the rental or the own through GameFly? Are you buying it?
Rental.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm renting.
What was Super Mario Maker coming out? They originally announced that to unlock more content, once you play a certain amount of time, new content would unlock the next day. And what was going to happen, your content would unlock over a span of 9 days. And people were kind of upset about that because people were like, I want everything all at once. And so Nintendo listened to them and they changed it a little bit. There's actually a day one patch that came out, which alters this. And what it's going to do, it actually has you unlock it in hours versus days. So now you're going to get the content a lot faster. But the question is, do you think people are going to become overwhelmed? And the whole reason Nintendo spaced it out was so you could get used to certain tools over time. And now they're just kind of throwing it all in your face. What do you think about that, Courtney?
I think it's a smart idea, very smart to change it. I was never a fan of 9 days, because it wasn't set up like anything. It was literally sign in and you get that day, and you couldn't wait until you sign in the next day. That would be when you get the next set of content, and then the next day, like you wouldn't have to play for an hour or anything like that. Like I'm all about timing it like per hours and things like that, because then at least you have experience. You're learning a little bit at a time, because it's not all at once.
Sure.
It's still, you have to play it, so you're going to be learning with the tools, learning how to use them, and then getting new tools as you go, which I find to be a lot better than 9 days, because it's not even 9 real days. You could play one day this week and not another day until next week, and that's only going to count as your second day of unlocking.
Yes.
So I just thought that was silly.
Sure. But at the same time, the same people might try to trick the system. Instead of trying out what they currently have, they'll just place like 50 blocks and then wait for the next thing to unlock. So they can, they can get more experienced tool set, I guess.
Well, and that's the same thing with the other way, though, is you could only log in once a day. All you have to do is log in, make sure you're signed in, and then you have the content, then you make sure it's saved, and then you log out.
I thought you had to play for like 15 minutes first.
Well, maybe it is 15 minutes, but it's the same thing, though.
Sure.
Log in, lay down a block, wait 15 minutes, log out.
Right.
It's just, I don't know. I think it's the same way either way, but I think people should be allowed to get the content as soon as possible.
Why does Nintendo do this?
Well, because they want to teach you. I mean, they're afraid they're going to overwhelm you. They're afraid they're going to overwhelm you.
That's kiddie stuff, man. That's
let's going back to
I'm with Courtney on
the
that.
90s.
Right. Yeah,
that's going back to the 90s when the Japanese companies like Square Enix thought the Americans couldn't handle Final Fantasy.
Man.
Like, come on. Don't treat us as kids. Treat us as gamers.
Every time I think Nintendo is on the upswings, just puzzling things.
But Brant, just last week you were singing the praises of how great Super Mario Maker was going to do.
Yeah, I was, because it's harrowing, flagship title for the Wii U that's actually taking advantage of the Wii U for the first time effectively. So,
taking advantage of the gamepad.
I don't know. I'm in a hateful mood to Nintendo today. I don't know what. Set me off or something.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that's every day for you, sir.
I was just playing Super Mario Brothers 3.
Right.
But I don't understand decisions like that. But it's good that they reversed the trend, because they probably got enough flack about it. So
sure. Well, Brant, let's get off this anger that you have. Now,
angry.
Would you rather talk about Fallout 4 or The Binding of Isaac?
Oh man. I love both games. I'm going to pick The Binding of Isaac just because that game's special to me.
Okay. Did you know that there's a new expansion pack coming out? It's called the Afterbirth expansion.
Oh,
it's going to add 100 hours of new content.
Oh,
they said here's
you made my day.
Right. They said it's going to add new modes, It's going to expand the main game. It's going to add daily runs and challenges, over 1,000 new rooms, a new playable character, 120 new items, 4 alternate chapters, expanded soundtrack, new types of rooms, an updated user interface, 8 new bosses, and 25 new enemy types.
No, count me in.
How much do you think this will cost you, sir?
This is a trick question. Is it free?
It is $9.99.
Okay.
As of right now, they said it's going to launch on PC at the end of October. They don't have a date for consoles yet.
Okay.
So tell me, sir, why are you excited for this content?
Because, first of all, I love The Binding of Isaac. I think it's very underrated for a roguelike game. I put, probably 20 hours into this game alone, and I still haven't seen everything that there is to see. It's a great game.
Now, I've never touched it, but Courtney, have you played Binding of Isaac at all?
Oh, I tried to stream it one night and I played like 2 rooms of it and could not figure out what was going on, so I shut it off. That is my experience with that
And
game.
that is the thing. You won't get it at first, but when you start, you just get entranced and you just want to keep going on, and you find all these weird weapons. And once you figure out, like, I didn't even know you could use certain weapons. I didn't even know how to use them until like 5 hours in. I'm like, oh, I can do that? Yeah, I don't know. It just kept grabbing me in different ways. As freaky as that sounds.
That does sound pretty freaky, sir.
Yeah.
Not the best wording.
Yeah, that wasn't the best word. It tickled my enthusiasm.
There you
That
go.
sounds worse.
Sure.
No, that's
Well,
We'll say that's better.
now, normally we talk about our My 2 Cents money saving section here, but Labor Day happened and all those deals are over. So, do you guys know of anything special going on right now, sales wise?
Good question. Yeah, I think I do. Can you fill a minute real quick?
Sure, why not? Brant, do you have anything to add? Like, do you know of any gaming deals or anything like that?
well, I know the Wii U. Does it have any specials at like $230? You said $235 for
$235 on Nintendo's website. You can get a Wii U with Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, and also the 3DS is $99 now. So that's dropped.
the 2DS.
Or the 2DS. That's right. See, you saved me there.
But yeah, it's and then the new 3DS I think has some bundles going on too with the Zelda Triforce Heroes.
Right.
I think that's like $230 if you get it together.
And they also have the Animal Crossing bundle coming out with the smaller new 3DS. But that comes out in, is it this month? It's whenever Happy Home Center comes out. We just talked about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
I can't remember. So Courtney, you ready? What you got for us?
Yeah, Steam's actually running some pretty cool sales right now. The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, 40% off, so it's $12.
Nice.
Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition for $5, which is 75% off. Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin for $25, which is 50% off. And the entire Witcher trilogy for $44.
Wow.
That's a lot of content.
Yeah, you could say that again. Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Now, we don't really talk about PC on here that much. There are a lot of PC gamers out there, and Steam always has really good sales.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do. Like outrageously good sales that make you jealous that you're not a Steam or a PC player or PC gamer.
Right. Just
Right.
check Steam if you want to see any good deals. PSN is actually every week they have some decent deals now.
Yeah, flash sales
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah,
and
it still isn't as good as Steam, but
No, yeah.
it's something.
And I know they always have good Humble Bundles out, too. I don't know what's in there now, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a good Humble Bundle recently. I'm not sure what's going on right now.
It's been a while. But the problem is I don't have a PC to game on, so I don't pay attention to PC deals that much.
They are doing a Tom Clancy bundle right now. So if you pay $8.55, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 Tom Clancy games.
Wow.
Woo. Yeah. $10 and you get
Get
2
your
more.
Tom Clancy on.
Yep.
Cool.
Humble Bundle is
I used to be
ridiculous.
big into Tom Clancy games. I haven't played them in a while.
I haven't
long
either.
while.
It's been a long time for me.
Well, with that, guys, let's hop into our topic of the week, which we're going to be talking about our backlogs and all the games that we're ashamed of. Well, Brant, hit it.
Backlog is building up. I can't stop the games. Backlog.
Well, thank
I
you for
had
that.
nothing. Yeah.
Well, with that, sir, let's start with you. What is currently in your backlog just for this generation right now?
This generation. Well, let me scroll down here. As you can see, I have a rather large list. Okay. I'm going to start. I played The Last of Us, but I have The Last of Us Remastered for the PS4, which I
Okay.
would like to go back to. Metro Redux or Redo, I would like to play. Diablo 3, I have that. I'm like 1/4 the way through that. Dying Light, probably 1/4. Dragon Age Inquisition. Oh, that's one.
See, I've got that on my list too.
Yeah, Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. I beat the first Dark Souls 2, but I'm about
I've got that on my list as well.
35% through that. Far Cry 4, not really much into that. Batman Arkham Knight, still haven't finished that. Witcher 3,
That's
Wild
one you got to
Hunt.
finish, man. Batman, it's not that long. You should be able to finish that.
Yeah, I just need to dig in and finish that. The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, I'll probably never get around to finishing that, even though I like the game. And Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, which I'm currently playing.
Well, that doesn't count because you're currently playing that.
Right.
But I agree with you, Brant. Like, because Dragon Age Inquisition is on my list, but it's one of those games where it's so big. I already put like 20, 30 hours into it, and I'm like halfway through it. I mean, which for that kind of game isn't that much, but it's like that game is massive.
You're not halfway.
Not even close.
No, I put in 130 hours.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've heard of people that beat it in like 70, 80 hours. So that's why, I mean, I was being rough.
Very rough.
Right. But I mean, also my list, I mean, I've got the Master Chief Collection. I still need to finish Halo 4. I want to do that before Halo 5 comes out. So I've got a little bit of time with that. I bought Wolfenstein. I loved Wolfenstein The New Order. So I bought Wolfenstein The Old Blood the day it came out. Haven't touched it. Haven't turned it on once. Like you said, Brant, Dark Souls 2.
Yeah.
I bought it. I made some Let's Plays, and I haven't touched it since because other stuff's come out.
Yeah.
I mean, and I enjoyed it. It's not like I didn't like it. It's just other things came out.
Right. And we're not even including the indie games.
No,
I'm not.
Right.
So.
But like Rare Replay, I've played through like 3 games on that. So I mean, there's a lot more to play on that. And like you talk about Metal Gear, Ground Zeroes, have it downloaded, never played it.
And that might be the switch that say, hey, I need to buy Metal Gear Solid 5 if I play this. You know?
Right. But on my 3DS, I got Mario Luigi Dream Team last Christmas. I forget how far I got into that. I got pretty far, but I just never finished it. And I really enjoyed it. But once again, other things came out, and I mean, that sort of seems to be my problem. I don't finish stuff and something else comes out, and I just rush out and buy it and just start something new.
Right. That's the problem I think we all have is just we're a consumer-friendly society, so we want the newest, bestest things, and that's how it builds up.
Well, Courtney, what about you, man?
I wouldn't say my backlog's nearly as big as your guys's.
Great.
I try like almost all those games you guys mentioned. I've already played through and beat this year. So I was gonna say, have you even played a current gen game yet?
Right.
I mean, mine is like Mad Max, which is very, very new. So obviously that's not too much of a backlog. But then I recently rebought Zombie on PlayStation 4, which is Zombie. So I'm going to be playing that eventually. Let's see. I've got a bunch of DLC. So like the Evil Within DLC, all the Dragon Age DLC. I still haven't played through Persona 4 on my Vita yet. I need to do that.
That's another one on my back. I didn't even go into Vita games.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I need to beat Pokemon X. I still haven't played that one. I skipped it and went straight to Alpha Sapphire when it came out. I still need to play through The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask on my 3DS.
Oh, that's on mine too, by the way.
I've got Captain Toad. I've got Super Smash Bros, Mario Kart, Mario Party, Super Mario 3D World.
So it's mostly Nintendo games.
Every Nintendo game I own. I just haven't played.
You
yet.
At least played through Bayonetta 2, right?
Nope.
Oh man, that's a good game.
I know. I really want to play it. But I don't have it yet. So. But yeah, and then of course the slew of indie games and free PlayStation Plus games that I haven't played other than Rocket League for the past 3 months. Oh man, I'm obsessed with that game.
I mean, that's a game that Brant's always singing praises to.
Oh yeah,
it's that's so good. I was
a contender.
Yeah, I was playing it before this podcast. So
yeah, don't bother me. I'm on Rocket League right now.
Right.
Yeah. He asked me for my Skype name, and I was like, I'm in the middle of a match. I'll find it in a few minutes.
Probably ruined one of your goals or something.
We were having a bad night anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
Right. Well, I guess the question is, I mean, what? For I guess we'll start with you, Brant, 'cause your backlog is much bigger.
Sure.
Why do you feel your backlog keeps building? What is stopping you from finishing these games?
It's like I said, the new and best thing comes out, and then you want it. Like everybody's talking about Metal Gear Solid 5, so I'm like, okay, I gotta play this. Everybody's talking about The Witcher 3 when it came out, so okay, I gotta play this, and I was still on Batman, or vice versa. I think Witcher 3 came out before Batman.
Yeah, by a month.
Yeah. So more just great games are coming out. I mean, I'm reviewing games now, and you get the download codes, you get these small indie games that you need to play and finish, and then I get back to the big games, then something else comes out, and then I just need to take care of this. I think I just need to put everything on hold and just dig into one game at a time. Like you said, just start with something and don't stop until you finish it.
Sure.
Meanwhile, peppering it with other games so you don't get burnt out in a way, but just keep one big game at a time going. And
right.
I think that's what I'm going to start to do.
Yeah, I think part of the problem for me as well, I mean, first of all, you can get games on good deals. Like, I bought Thief, it was super cheap on Xbox One. I played like 2 levels into it, and I haven't touched it since.
Yeah.
And
that too.
I think another problem is that this generation, like, game demos are far fewer than they used to be. Because, like, last generation, every single game on 360 had a demo. And now I'm like, well, this game looks kind of fun, but I can't try it to see if I like it or not. So I just go out and buy it. And then I'm like, well, this game wasn't for me.
Sell it.
Yeah. Right.
And that brings back, now I'm thinking of other games like Alien Isolation. I started and loved it, but I just didn't go back to it. I mean, It's crazy. It's great. It's becoming a problem.
Sure.
And I'm starting to realize that.
And Courtney, what about you? I mean, it seems like yours is it's mostly newer games. Well, except for Nintendo.
Yeah. See, I don't know. My backlog, it's more of multiplayer games or Nintendo games because I play a lot of story games, and I'm the kind of guy who plays through it all at once and then moves on to the next game and then the next game and the next game. And so I just knock them all off one at a time, and I invest a lot of time into it. And so like during the weekdays, I'll try to put an hour or two in, but then on the weekends, like there will be some weekends where I'll put in 14 or 15 hours in a day. And so like, and part of that is because I just love playing games. Part of it's, I'm obsessed with games. But the other part, one of the things that I tried to do with being a podcaster, being about video games and stuff, was always trying to play at least most of every current game that everyone was talking about. So like you were saying, when everybody's talking about a game, you got to play it. And so, to stay up to date. And so I would force myself to play through, which, and I say force, but that's very lightly because I love playing games. So, yeah. So Nintendo games fall to the wayside. They fall behind, and indie games normally fall behind too. Like I still haven't even beat Shovel Knight, and I want to beat that.
Well, you got to beat that soon because the new DLC comes out next week. And the only way to play it, you have to beat the game, the first game.
It's free though, right? You can download
it is free.
For free.
It is free.
Okay.
Yep. So I mean, you have to finish it.
I know, and I want to. It's so hard. I'm so bad at it.
Well, it's kind of
so good,
right? It's kind of funny how we have different reasons for having backlogs. Because like for Brant and I, we're just jumping around a lot. And for you, it's mostly you stick to one game till you finish it, and so everything just sort of piles up.
Yep, exactly. And those long games, those games like The Witcher, things like that, it's when you're playing through 130 or 140 hours of Dragon Age and stuff. There are so many games that just get released during that time you're playing it, and then by the time you're done, you're like, I have like a handful or more of games that now I need to start, getting through, and oh man, some of those times get really stressful. Like this fall, as much as I'm looking forward to this fall, it is already over. It's just I don't even know. I have a list of over 20 games I want in the next 3 months. It's ridiculous.
It's quite a bit.
It's gonna be crazy.
Well, let me ask you this: out of your whole backlog, what's one game you want to go to now and just finish it?
Oh, the most?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Let's see. Probably And I didn't even mention Xbox, man. I've totally looked over that.
Geez.
Probably Dead Rising. I really want to play
okay.
Dead Rising 3. I still haven't played that, and I really want to.
Cool. That was unexpected.
Yeah, I totally forgot to mention that. I mean, after that, it would be like Persona. I'm a huge JRPG guy. So, like, not to call you guys out, but last week when you, like, kind of skidded over Tales of Hysteria, I was like, are you kidding me?
Right.
That game was going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about this.
You're a Tales man then.
Oh, man, it is my favorite series
Xillia,
in the
yeah.
world. Oh, my gosh. I love that series.
So to make up for last week, what is that game about? Like, sort of enlighten us.
Oh, man, that one specifically. Let me look up a synopsis on it because every Tales game is a little bit different. The Tales series is a lot like Final Fantasy. If you're familiar with Final Fantasy, it's like that, but more anime style.
Okay.
So animated cut scenes and things like that, and very cell-shaded characters. And they all have lingering aspects through the game. So like Final Fantasy has chocobos and stuff like that. This game has apple gels and orange gels, which are like how to heal your HP, how to heal your MP, things like that.
Okay.
But this one specifically, let me read this off. Tales of Hysteria takes place on a fictional continent named Glenwood. Glenwood is divided between two warring countries, the Highland Kingdom, which is ruled by a constitutional monarchy, and the Roland's Empire. Oh, this might be a little bit long. I don't want to get too much into it.
Go. You're already in it, right?
It basically is like it goes like a religious war and stuff. And every one of these games has a huge twist about halfway through it. And so, like, they get you used to what's going on in the world, and you think you understand everything, and they flip it on you. Like, a few of the games, without telling you which specific ones, so I'm not going to spoil anything for you. A few of the games, you'll be like battling in a war or whatever, and learning about all the characters and getting to know them and stuff, and then you'll figure out that your planet isn't even like a real planet, and it's like on the inside of an actual planet, and then you have to travel to the outer planet and like figure out what was going on. Few of them have like you're a part of a different dimension, and you switch dimensions halfway through the game, and it's
That's crazy.
They're really, really good stories, and they have really good character development. So every one of them I've bought at launch for the past 4 years, and I am obsessed with that series. It's so good.
Cool. Yeah, I played Tales of Xillia 1, and it just wasn't my theme, but I can understand why people have it in such high regards. Like, I can appreciate the fact for that.
Yeah, and Tales of Xillia 1 was actually one of the lesser popular ones of the most recent. So
okay.
Xillia 2 has a story very similar to The Last of Us, and it's very good. But not zombies, but like the character part of it is really good. And Tales of Grace's F, one I would highly recommend. Highly recommend if you have a PS3.
What about Tales of Hearts R or Tales of Heart? Yeah.
I played that on my Vita, loved it. Actually, I played it on my PlayStation TV, which is even better.
Yeah, that's another one I have to play.
Really, really good. But the only problem with that is you have to like subtitled because there is no English dub for that one, which isn't a problem for a lot of people. A lot of people like that. I'm just not one of them.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Brant, what about you, man? What's one game in your backlog? If you had the time, you'd finish it now.
Yeah, I'm reaching here, but like Courtney said, I want to go back to Persona 4. I just put that game down, and I was having a blast with it. I don't know why I stopped just because of everything else, but that's one game I need to go back to, and I want to play Danganronpa 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. I've just delved into them a little bit, but yeah, for text adventures or whatever choices, yeah, they're right up my alley.
Cool. Well, I think for me, just looking at my list of what I have right now, I'd probably go back and play Wolfenstein: The Old Blood just because it's a shorter game, but I know I'd really enjoy it and blast through it in like a weekend or something. So maybe I'll hop on that this weekend.
There you go. It's good. So
because I loved the other one. It was great because the New Order was awesome.
Yeah. Just a quick question, you guys.
Sure.
Yeah, how would you go about like playing like PS1 era games? Like, I have a ton of PS1 era games that I haven't even played, like let's say Final Fantasy Tactics. I'm not too far into that, but I really like it. Or I mean, would those type of games be the types of games you just wouldn't go back to just because of everything else that's new out? Or I mean,
those are the for me personally, those are the type of games that I play in the downtime. So
Sure.
like when there's not a whole lot, when not a whole lot of games coming out, which is not very often anymore. The games are spread out throughout the year now, but when there's typically like a month off between games, that's when I'll try to play one of my backlog games or one of the old games. Really, I don't know. I don't take preference between old generation or new, other than graphics. Like that'll be the only thing that'll turn me off from one of the old games.
Sure.
But yeah, there are still some really good games that I'd love to go back and play, like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Sure. I mean, for me, Brant, I think those are the kind of games where they just end up getting pushed aside because, like you said, I want to play the newer stuff, and it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to go back to old games. I mean, graphically, just a lot of the quality. Sometimes the writing, the gameplay. We've advanced so much in that time. I feel like it makes it harder to go back.
Well, some like Chrono Trigger and some of those classic games that I can't think of right now. You could go back and it's just looks like a retro game.
Sure.
They hold up well.
Yeah, I've got all the Chrono games. I've got all the old Final Fantasy games. I've got a bunch of those PlayStation classics.
Oh, yeah.
On my PS3, and it's
too.
just like I want to play them so bad, but most of those are like 60-hour games too, and so it's just like, oh man,
Right.
Yeah, and I
That's a
guess
lot
you
of time.
can't really talk about them on your podcast because it's old.
Yep.
News, yeah.
It's not current stuff, so nobody really cares
That's a
anymore.
retro podcast. Then.
Yeah, there you
There
go.
you go. Start another podcast. Oh man. Well, is there anything else you guys like to add on this topic of the week on backlogs? Like, why we have them, or if there's any of the games you really want to go back to?
Backlogs are such a first world problem, man.
Right.
Like,
It absolutely.
we complain about them, but we also love them at the same time. And I do like that feeling of knowing I have games there that I haven't played or that I want to go back and replay. Like that's always a good feeling sitting there to know that you're never going to run out of stuff to play.
Right.
That it's never going to be like it was when we were kids and we would play all these games or whatever, the games that we'd have the money for, and then we'd beat everything we've owned, and we don't have money for any other games for several months. And it's like, well, I'll play Mario again,
Right,
even though
right.
I've been playing it every single day for months. It's just like I like that feeling of knowing that I can play a new game any given day, any day I want.
Well, it's kind of like one of those days where you wash your clothes and you find like a $10 bill in your pocket, right?
Yep,
It's like
exactly.
you totally forgot it was there, and you find it, and you're like, yes.
I have Bound by Flame. I reviewed it last year, and there's a funny story to that. But I have Bound by Flame, and I got a review copy of it, and so it's sitting in a little bitty plastic, like see-through case on my game shelf, and so I always forget about it. And every time I go over to my game shelf and I'm looking through games of what I want to play, I was like, oh, I have Bound by Flame. I could totally play this again someday. And it's like I never remember that until I look at my game shelf, and it's always like the $10 bill thing. It's like, oh, sweet, I have this game.
Is it worth playing? That's the question. Okay.
I loved it. I personally loved it. It got panned,
Yeah, it did.
critically. But I'll go ahead and tell the funny story really quick.
Go for it.
Reviewed it. I gave it a very high score, and I reviewed it very well. And for some reason, somebody picked it up and put it on Wikipedia of my review for it, and they said that I worked at IGN. And
Wow.
it is so funny. Like, Bound by Flame, Wikipedia. It said Courtney Osborne of IGN said, and I'm just like, oh my god, that's so funny.
You worked for IGN for a few.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Courtney Osborne of IGN echoed this writing. Bound by Flame is a breath of fresh air in an otherwise crowded genre. Spiders has achieved what many developers failed to ever do. Just like, yeah, that was me.
You are famous, sir.
So whenever IGN finally hires me, I'm just going to be like, yeah, I've already been working for you
Right.
for a few years. Sorry.
Where's my money?
Right.
My back pay.
Well, Courtney, thank you for joining us. I mean, I hope you've had a good time on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. It was fun.
Cool. Well, I mean, remind our
Yeah,
listeners,
thank you.
Where can they find you, man?
Personally or podcast wise?
I mean, I guess
Either way,
anywhere
if
in
you
the
want-
digital space.
Yeah, if you want
Okay.
freaky people to come to your house, that's fine.
I
too.
like freaky people. You can find me in Lawrence, Kansas. I'm Courtney Osborne, so you can find me anywhere on the internet. Courtney Levi Osborne, very easy to find. Almost all my usernames are Osborne_2009 or just Osborne 2009. So it's really easy to find me. And then as for what I do with Geeks by Night, it's super easy to find that too. Geeks by Night is pretty unique. Not a whole lot of people have that name or anything similar to that name. So we're on YouTube and on iTunes and Podbean and all the podcast services and Twitch. Just search for Geeks by Night.
Cool. When you guys know where you can find the Life of Gaming podcast, we're on Facebook, Google+, Twitter, at Life of Gaming Pod. We also have a brand new website, a Life of Gaming network, if you will, where we take everything we've done, reviews, videos, we put them all in one place for you guys. Check out lifeofgaming.net. It's our brand new website. Make sure to check it out. And you guys know you can find me on Twitter at JamesPlus12. On Xbox and Twitch, Jamester0722. And Brant, what about you, man?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitch, -the_Brant, Twitter, @-the_Brant, on PSN, -the_Brant, and yeah, on Facebook at Josh Brant, and chat me up.
Cool. Well, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the show. We got more stuff coming for you in the weeks ahead. If I'm here, if I can still talk.
If you're still alive.
Right. But until next time, guys, we're out.
Bye.
Later.